Welcome back to our Legends Live as presented by the National Basketball Retired Players Association. Of course, the home of all our NBA and WNBA legends. I'd like to remind all our viewers, you can, of course, submit questions during the show that we will answer with our legend before we wrap up. Without further ado, let's get to today's legend. We have got former Virginia Cavalier, former Seattle Supersonic, Sacramento King. We've got Olden Polynice here. Olden, thank you for joining us.
Oh, thank you for having me on.
Of course, of course. First things first, how are you, man? It's trying times out there. How are you?
I'm 6 feet above ground, the other side of the dirt. I am ecstatic.
I understand, man. We were just talking a little bit before, talking about just trying to make it through the year. So I feel like it's always nice to just see how people are doing. Like, what are you keeping busy with these days?
Just maneuvering through the COVID debacle or whatever they want to call it, and it's just been madness, seeing how our world shut down.
Yeah.
Which is something I never thought I would see in my lifetime.
Right.
And, we've had all kinds of sicknesses and viruses in the past, and something like this, shut us down. So maneuvering that as a parent, with kids, my kids are in college now, and some are married with kids. So it's like just making sure that everybody's okay, just like everybody else has been doing, dealing with COVID. Two of my kids have had it, and my brother had it. And so it's just, hoping and praying that things get better and that we make it through 2020.
Definitely. Bit of a lighter note. Something I wanted to ask you about. I saw it on your Instagram. It was a picture you had. It was a graphic of Kobe beside LeBron James, and it pointed out that, in the same season they both finished second in MVP.
Yeah.
They both beat the Houston Rockets in the second round. They beat the Denver Nuggets in the third round, and they won their fourth championship in Orlando. So that's the way you put it. That is kind of funny. But what do you make of just the all-time discussion? Like where do you have like Kobe, LeBron, Jordan, of course, Kareem, whoever you have up in that conversation?
It's a great question. It's that burning question, the GOAT debate. And my thing is this: there's never going to be a debate. It's always going to be, who do you like?
Right.
And I think people need to understand that, because if I say I like player A, somebody's going to say, no, I like player B. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
That's your right. And so it becomes one of the situations that, now, if we want to always have arguments, then that's a great one to have. But no one's ever going to be right, and no one's ever going to be wrong. I can say Kareem, Wilt, Oscar Robertson. I can say Elgin Baylor, Jerry West. I can go on, and I'll still be okay.
Right.
Like I can say LeBron, George.
There's no wrong answer.
There's no wrong answer. So what I try to tell people is this: enjoy everybody for what they've provided us.
Right.
Because to me, that's their greatness, is that they've given us each something special. Every era is to be celebrated. Every player is to be celebrated, not compared, just celebrated.
Definitely. Now I know let me get this straight. You started playing relatively late. Like, how old were you when you started playing basketball?
I was 16 years old when I picked up a basketball.
So I was going to ask, who did you watch? Like, did you watch anybody growing up, or did you watch it and just never played, or you never really, like, how'd that come about?
But it's so funny. I grew up across the street from Rucker Park.
Oh, wow.
Literally, like my building, I lived in building 1, and games from the window. From my neighbor's window, I could see all the games.
Wow.
And so I never played ball.
I was like, you never thought, man, I got to go over there and get in on some of that.
Listen, we're from Haiti. My parents are about going to school and getting an education.
True.
So all stuff, trying to have fun,
get your grades first, definitely.
That was it. But it became a situation that the education basically got me to play basketball, because the high school coach, when I grew the 7 inches between my freshman and sophomore year, which was a major jump.
How tall were you then? And
I was 6'1", and I went to 6'8".
From freshman to sophomore, wow.
And so the coach told my parents, if he got good enough playing basketball, he can get a scholarship, which meant he can go to college for free. My
Right.
parents heard the word free. It didn't matter.
They were all in.
Basketball, yeah.
So how did you, like, in picking it up late? I guess what was the hardest part for you to pick it up? Like, you had to really learn the game from square one, right?
Oh yeah, I did. So there were no bad habits, and there was
Hmm.
nothing really hard about it for myself. I'm not bragging or anything. It's just I've always had a tendency to pick up things rather quickly.
Right.
So I'm a big listening guy. I believe that anything can be accomplished if we're good listeners. And so I had that in my bag, and I had relatively good coaches. My high school coach was one of the best. And everybody that I saw playing basketball, I just watched and picked things from. And I also got in the gym and worked in my game. That was it.
So who were you watching at that time? Like, I mean, NBA guys, it could be college, local guys. Like, who were just some of the guys you were just watching, picking up moves?
Guys at Rucker, Joe Hammond, people that were playing at Rucker Park. I remember Dr. J came through there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, oh my God, you get to see Dr. J. Then I watched the NCAA championships, the tournament. And it was like, oh my goodness, look at this guy. So, Magic and Bird playing in the championship game was like, wow.
Right.
Seeing a guy my height bouncing
Right.
the ball. And I was like, wait a minute, I can't do that. Like, Magic Johnson.
Right. Now, you mentioned your Haitian roots. You played in a couple NBA cities. What NBA city you think had the best Haitian food?
The best Haitian food, none of the ones I played in, really.
Okay.
Not a knock on them, but I'm in LA now. There's not a big Haitian community in LA.
Right.
None really in Seattle or Utah. Detroit, none. Sacramento, none.
Right.
But in my travels, New York, of course, Miami, when they finally put the heat up there, I enjoy going to those two cities because, especially Miami, because I could always go to Little Haiti and get some home. It tastes just like my mom's food.
Right. Now, do you keep your own pickles with you? I was told by a Haitian friend.
Pickles, yes, I do make, but I don't travel with it.
Okay, you just keep that for at home.
Oh, that's a staple. My dad, both my parents cook. My mom pretty much made everything, but my dad has specific things that he would make, and pickles was one of them.
Now, I'm not familiar. What is pickles?
What's that?
What is pickles? I'm not familiar. I know I know like what it is. I haven't had it. Like what all is in it?
Cabbage, carrots,
okay,
vinegar, habanero peppers,
okay,
and salt and pepper, a little bit of salt, not too much salt. That's pretty much it. Other people add other vegetables to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like like people make pickles with cucumber. So it's pretty much the same kind of concept. It's just that with multiple vegetables, and then you put it on top of your food as a seasoning and a spice. So
gotcha.
It's fun to have. It makes like the different meats that we have. You put pickles on that, it takes it to another level.
So you just eat it kind of with everything.
Oh yeah, but it's spicy.
I bet. Yeah, you said what kind of peppers was it?
That's a piece of pepper.
Oh no. I don't. I know personally, I don't have the palate for that. I might be down for the count after that one. Now it's who would you put on like the I guess is there an all Haitian basketball team? Because it's like some solid players with Haitian, like Samuel D'Alembert, Scal Labissier's from there. I saw Blake Griffin's parents from there, or Blake Griffin's father, Steph Curry's grandmother's from Haiti.
Yeah, well, there's a thing now we say, Haitians claim everybody.
I was gonna say that's why. Yeah, I feel like who am I missing here?
In the past, we've claimed Beyonce.
Okay,
Haiti.
Yeah, good.
We claim everybody, so you got to do your research.
Definitely.
But there are quite a few people that have Haitian backgrounds. I love when people embrace that part of their history and their life. And so, we had Mario Ellie, of course. Yvonne Joseph played a season in the league. There's a bunch of young guys coming up right now that are really good. So, there's room for development in Haiti. There's a lot of talent there, unlike Africa, of course, but there is a lot of talent.
Right.
Just got to get people down there helping out and teaching them. That's the key.
Is that something that you do or you'd be interested in, like trying to work with or starting to work with?
I'm interested in growing it even more. And there's only so much I can do as one person.
Definitely.
I don't have, like I said, when I mentioned Africa, I don't have the backing of the NBA behind it. So everything that's done in Haiti, it's kind of like you have to do it on your own. People getting involved, but
right.
I've been doing it for 30 plus years, so I'm not gonna stop now.
Definitely. Now, when you were coming up, you played in some of the cities you mentioned. Who were some of your veteran guys? Like, I like to ask guys, like when you came in as a young player, as a rookie, who were some of your old heads, your OGs that kind of kept you on the straight and narrow?
Listen, the beautiful part about it is that I had those guys.
Right. I was like, not everybody had. Yeah.
Had grown men. Now your veteran is 21.
Right. You 19 and he's 22. Yeah.
I remember I had Alton Lister. I had Tom Chambers, Dale Ellis, my rookie year, Xavier McDaniel, Nate McMillan. I mean, talk about a veteran leader. So it was like seeing these guys and hearing their stories. It's like like I said, they were grown men with families, had mortgages and all that.
Right.
Me and Derek McKee were rookies. We just want to have fun.
Right.
We're gay now.
Right.
So to me, it was like, wow, this is kind of cool. But I always got to give a special shout out to one of my number one guys, Clement Johnson.
Okay.
He didn't get a lot of playing time and all that. He had played in Philadelphia and some other cities, but he literally, I was playing his position, but there was nothing, no animosity with him. He's like, hey, I'm going to show you this, A, B, C, and D, to help you. And I'm like, aren't you afraid I'm going to take your spot? It's like, I hope you take my spot. And that stood out to me more than anything else that anybody could ever say or do, man.
Right.
That he cared so much. It didn't matter to him if I took a spot or not. It was about what was going to be best for the team. But that taught me a lot there, that first year.
So who were some of the young guys you were able to, I guess, kind of pass that on to?
Well, and then I ended up, we had, once I became a vet myself, 3-4 years in, then I had Gary Payton, Sean Kemp, Avery Johnson, had to take him around, hold him by the hand. Oh my goodness. Avery
seems like a guy, he kind of be on his own. You had to keep Avery together.
His rookie year in the NBA.
What give me a story. What did Avery do his rookie year?
Oh my goodness. Which one can I tell? I mean, it's got to be, which one can I tell?
Yeah, respectfully, but give us a good one.
Just not knowing, like where to buy furniture. Something simple. I had to take them to the store and show them where what to do. Make sure you don't get got. That kind of stuff. Yeah, people see you that you're in the NBA, they're gonna tend to overprice you and stuff.
Try to sell you anything.
Typically, one specific time we were eating, and he ordered orange juice, but his Louisiana accent, it was like orange juice. And then when they came, we were in New York actually, and when they brought the orange juice down, he didn't realize they were charging as much as they were. And we were staying, I think, at the Hyatt Hotel in New York City, and everything. And he went off like, they're charging this much for a glass of orange juice.
I could just see him standing up on a chair yelling at his accent.
Baby. I think it was like $10 for a small glass of orange juice. I was like,
you say New York City? That sounds about right.
that was back in the 90s. We're like, oh man, I can go down the street to the store and get for like $3-4.
Right, you can get the whole carton for that.
Exactly.
What do you think? What was one of your favorite jerseys that you played in? I feel like you played in some good, like the old Sonics jerseys are classics.
Well,
Kings, Pistons.
story, the second time I went to Seattle,
Mm.
so that's when the league was doing retro.
Yeah.
Like, wait a minute, that was my original jersey.
Yeah, that's not old school. That's just like, this is my regular. Yeah.
And so it's like I came back a couple of times, and also with the Clippers, it's like I'm wearing stuff that I wore my rookie year, and now it's like retro. And I was like, wait a minute, throwbacks or whatever they're calling them. And I was like, I love the Seattle jersey with the Space Needle. I love that one. I really did. That's like one of my favorites. And I kind of I like the Sacramento one. Believe it or not, the powder blue. Powder blue.
I like those. I think those get a bad rap. I like those as well.
I love those.
Yeah. I think those are a good look.
It's funny because I was there for the intro of the new look, the new color change, the black and purple. And I remember when we came out with those, I modeled the uniforms, and I loved them, but I was like, whoa, that powder blue, man.
Yeah.
Like you say, it gets a bad rap, but I liked it.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I looked up something. I saw that you have an old, or I want to see if it's still an outstanding beef. Apparently, you and Paul Pierce are supposed to be playing chess. Did y'all ever play chess?
Paul don't want none of this.
Uh-oh.
Paul does not want.
Uh-oh. Call him.
And the funny thing about it, I texted him about a week ago for something else, and it's like he does not want any of this. He saw me play, and I think I know why he doesn't want me. He saw how I was beating up on everybody.
Where did he see you play? Where
we were at a friend's house in Calabasas about a year ago, 2 years ago, and it was like, I think, Super Bowl. I carry my chess set with me.
Okay, so you're a professional.
I got out the car and brought it out, and I just sat there. Anybody want to play? People lined up, and I was just knocking them one by one. And Paul was there. He saw. I'm like, "You want to play?" He's like, "No, I got to leave." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm sure you do."
Yeah, somewhere to be. Okay, so you want to put the official challenge out the
I'm challenging
out the Paul.
Anybody in the league, current, past, whoever plays chess, let's do this.
Okay, what else? Spades, poker. What else? What else?
I play it.
I was gonna say.
They don't want spades. They don't want no parts of tongue.
Apparently, you're pretty good in poker too. Who you getting in poker?
Everybody. Martin Lawrence. That's the famous one. I took his money and then gave it back to him.
Wait, you got to tell that story. How'd that happen?
Well, I didn't take him in poker that day. I've taken him in poker, but we were shooting dice.
Okay.
And I took.
This must have been in Detroit.
What's that?
Was this in Detroit?
No, this was in Atlanta.
Okay.
Martin was just starting out. I think he had just finished filming House Party.
Okay.
Not a household name yet. And, like most of us, working, 9 to 5 type thing. And he got in a game with me, and and I'm not saying he was crying, but there was a little bit of moisture in his eyes.
Allegedly, there was somebody was cutting onions. Allegedly,
it could be allegedly, but I'm just saying there was some moisture there.
Well, so you said they made you give the money back.
But here's the funny part about this story. It's, again, learning from your vets. It happened to me. Isaiah Thomas got me that way.
Okay.
And I ain't ashamed to admit it. I was in tears because it's my rookie year, we're in Chicago. I walk in a room, Isaiah Thomas, Magic Johnson, all these greats. And I'm like, oh my goodness. And I get caught up.
Dice, poker, what were they playing?
The shooting dice on the bench. And so Isaiah took all my money. I'm in tears. I'm like, oh my God, I've lost this money. And so he pulled me to the side and he told me a story as he's counting my money, right? And he's giving it back to me, but I have to stand there and listen to the story.
Right.
Oh, he'll like put 100 back in my hand, and the story continues, and until it was done. And he's like, you work hard for your money. I just basically pimped you out of your money. Oh, wow.
And he's saying that as he's handing you the money back.
That's kind of true. He's like, so take care of this, okay? Don't get caught up. But it was a great lesson.
Yeah, that is a good lesson.
And so
because you never forgot it.
I did it to somebody else.
So did you do that? Is Martin ever gonna get his money back, or?
Oh, I gave it back to him.
You gave it all to him?
Oh yeah, I gave it all.
I thought you said you gave some of it back to him.
And
okay.
Told the story.
Okay, that's yeah.
Man, you work hard for this money, man. Don't have me take it from you like that, man.
Definitely.
I pass it forward.
So you putting the challenge out there? Any game, any takers?
Oh, it doesn't matter to me.
We got to set up Paul Pearson chess.
Oh,
I think we got to set this up.
Other people have asked me about that, and he's out here. I know Jamie Foxx plays chess too. There's a bunch of them, but I don't think they play blitz like I play blitz. So I think they play regular chess, without the clock.
Oh, okay. So it wouldn't even no challenge for you.
No, I mean you're gonna give me more time to think. Oh no.
We'll keep you too long. We'll get to some of our questions here. Let's check in with Bridget, see what kind of viewer questions we have here. I'll scroll way up. Let's see. Okay, from Bask. What's up, Bask? Says Mr. Polynice. On March 18th, 2020, you tweeted, "Did any networks televise the Iditarod race?" Damn, I would have watched it. Are you so he's asking you, are you a big dog sled guy? And did you end up watching the Iditarod? You got tell us how did the rest of that tweet end?
That was more of a joke than anything else.
Okay.
But I have watched Iditarod. I have watched it.
Okay. What'd you think?
What's that?
What'd you think? Was it?
Oh no, it's amazing. No, seriously, it's amazing. Seeing people with that connection, with dogs like that.
Right.
And that's, to me, is wow.
Right.
And it's like, it gets so emotional, with them, because it's like, you gotta take care of the dogs, because or else, that's the end of the race.
I say that's the end of you, yeah.
It's an amazing thing to watch. So, but my sport, believe it or not, I don't care what anybody says, I love watching curling. That right there.
Really?
I swear on everything holy, I could watch that all day, every day.
Were they put, and then they do the little
with
the shaving that you glued to the tail on the Winter Olympics.
Dude, I've watched it, the Olympics, I watched the World Championships. It doesn't matter to me. If curling comes on, they got my attention. Because the precision. See, people think it's throwing that thing out there, the stones, and then that's it. No, there's more to it than that.
Right.
It's oh my God, I love it.
I was like, once I learned like what they were what are they actually doing? It's like, no, they're shaving the path that they want it to go. I was like, okay, no, that's real skill.
Stone and make it go fast, slow, left to right, and you got to position in such a way that it keeps the other team from getting in there.
Right.
And it's amazing.
Have you ever tried it? You think we gonna see you out on the ice?
I've been on ice, but I don't know. I don't think I can throw the stone. I can sweep most likely.
You do the sweep? Okay. Let's see. Next question we have is from Team Farm. He said, it's been kind of a thing online. It says, how many points are you putting up against Harrison Barnes in your prime? It's been kind of a thing online. A lot of non-basketball, non-NBA players think they could score a bucket on Harrison Barnes. I don't think they could.
Listen, I'm going to say this the best way I know how, without offending anybody and without being disrespectful to Harrison Barnes or anybody else, okay? The worst player, if there is such a thing, in the NBA is still better than anybody else outside of the NBA.
By far.
And people need to understand that, okay? Harrison Barnes is a hell of a player, okay? Now, if people are making this because they want to get some laughs and all that and be disrespectful, that's on them. I don't get caught up in stuff like that. But he is a talent, and he is by far one of the better players we have in the NBA, okay?
Yeah, so champion, gold medal. Like, this guy's good.
People got to, like, I don't get caught. Again, I don't do the negativity against players and all that because, like I said, the worst, if there can be such a thing, is still better than anybody else out there.
I hope they listen to you, man. I've been trying to tell them I was like, the guy that didn't even make the NBA, like played college, but didn't quite make it to the NBA, would walk into any YMCA gym and dominate. Like, you would not be able to stop him.
People don't realize how it's a different level, man. The NBA is a different level.
Definitely.
You see guys like, how did he make it to the NBA? Trust me, there's a way he got to the NBA, and it's hard work. It's not.
Definitely. Let's see what our next question is. Let's see. Okay, from Instagram, so can you share any stories from the Space Jam bubble games?
Oh, wow, that's a good question. Yeah, I remember that. Going down there, it was nothing but basketball, but it was funny because we would play ball, like they'd shoot Space Jam. We go up there and play, and we're talking about all-stars.
Like, who was it? Who? Give me some names.
Oh, my goodness. Well, Barkley, Jordan, Patrick Ewing, anybody that was anybody, Magic, Olajuwon, you name them, anybody that was a basketball player came to the bubble at least one time. Because, you got to remember also back then, LA Summer League was in LA. So everybody was
already in LA.
So Mike had everybody come over. I'm talking about state of the arts, and we just running up and down, shirts and skins kind of thing, just like in the park. But it was so intense. We're talking about this one because you did not want to lose.
Right.
You lose, you're standing, you're sitting for a while. And, we had some college cats come in thinking they were hot shots, from UCLA and all that. It's like, oh, this is NBA.
Right.
Sorry, it's only NBA guys. And they got offended. It's like, but it's an NBA thing.
Right.
And so to me, and then we would like go to dinner afterwards. And I'm talking about it got physical.
Oh, I bet.
Dinner, laugh it off, go to the club, and like, okay, I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, just same time tomorrow.
Yeah, but it was the most amazing experience, having that. And so that helped me out a lot personally. Being able to have all these guys in one place in the summer, my game got way better, for the following season because I was able to see them and play against them and pick up stuff during the summer that normally I don't get to do. Right.
Did you get in on the those dice games? I know they had some dice or some card games.
I wasn't trying to go there and put people's business out there, but we had those too. Oh, now I'll share this with you. And this is the one I remember the most. So we're playing Tunk. And this is why we don't like gambling with MJ.
Okay.
He loses about 2-3 hands straight. And they playing like starts out $100. For like a high card, I don't know if you know Tunk, high spade, a high suit. So he loses, and then he loses again. He loses another hand. All right, let's go. $1,000 high spades. Now all of a sudden, and that's his thing. He will always raise the stakes and put that fear in you to the point where you can't do it anymore.
Right.
So now you just won $300 from it. Now all of a sudden it's at $1,000. And if you dumb enough to put $1,000 up, all of a sudden he ends up with an ace of spades. I'm like, I'm good.
Well, I was gonna say it's probably worse if you say, "No, I'm good." I feel like he's gonna trash talk you until you end up playing, right?
He does that, but win the 1,000, he'll bump it up again. I've watched him do it, and he will get you. You know, because he can always raise it up.
Right.
You know what the old saying, "Big bank take little bank." That was
listen. It's a tried and true statement.
That was his mentality.
Somebody put in the chats that all that the Jordan gambling bubble needs an entire documentary, because I know it's some story or a book, something. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, they are legendary. Legendary. I've watched him in Vegas like lose. Like I'm sitting there like I'm in tears, because it's like I could get a house with that.
Right. Like it's not even your money and you down bad. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's like you said, big bank, man. He plays high stakes.
Yes, he does.
Any more viewer questions? If not, I think we got one more question. We'll let you out of here. We're putting together a Legends playlist. So we need, what are you listening to? What's in your headphones? It can be something old, something new, anything at all. What's in your headphones right now?
A different cat, man. You know, I grew up in Haiti, so I gotta have some of my island sounds, some salsa. I gotta have some Silk Blues or Hector Lavoe. I also got Phyllis Hyman up in there. That's
Phyllis Hyman, the legend.
I kind of mix it up. I'm not big on rap, at least today's rap. No disrespect to those guys. You know, I wish them well, but I just like, you know, the rap of when it first started. You know, something simple as Rapper's Delight. I can enjoy because it's just fun. Right. You know, and so I try, you know, but if, you know, for a playlist, definitely, you know, Celia, Hector Lavoe, Phyllis Hyman. I love Teddy.
Pendergrass.
Love Curtis Mayfield.
Yeah.
I'm an old school kind of guy, you know. If I can listen to that all day. But I will say this: a guy I like now is Anthony Hamilton, because he has that feel.
Yeah, Anthony Hamilton is very good.
Yeah. So.
Gave us some great additions. Olden Polynice, thank you so much for joining us this week on Legends Live.
All right, thank you for having me. One last thing, if I can.
Of course.
Shout out to all the teams out there. I'm still available. 15 years coaching. I'd love to get in with somebody. Got to put it out there. Closed mouth don't get fed.
That's exactly right. Let's get my man Olden a job in the league, man. We'll talk to you soon, Olden.
All right. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Thank you, man.
All right.
Right, that'll do it for this week's Legends Live. Of course, we have new episodes live every Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern on NBA Alumni's Twitch, Facebook, the YouTube, and Twitter. I'd like to remind our viewers you can watch the replays of any episode at legendsofbasketball.com/legendslive. You can catch the audio replay to our conversations on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, by searching Legends Studio. And we will catch you next Thursday at 5.